on our way to the courtroom to take a look at the ruling coming down on Scientology attorney Brian Moxon and DOA. Scientology attorney Brian Moxon has been on the Scientology payroll for a very, very, very long time. Scientology attorney Brian Moxon is one of the Scientology parents that offloaded their kids, their underage kids, to Scientology. Two of his kids were transported across state lines over to Debbie Cook in Florida to so-called train them as auditors. So Scientology, Brian Moxon has been all about what happens in the Scientology hotels and commercial buildings. He has been co-signing everything. He's one of these Scientology attorneys, which are a rare breed if you really think about it. So Scientology attorney Brian Moxon has no shred of plausible deniability to pretend he doesn't know what Scientology was. He didn't know that kids got locked up inside sessions. He is fully aware of what convicted felon L. Ron Hubbard pitched to do. To so-called really what was it? Oh yeah, really deal with your trauma. Let's really lock you up against your will so that we really start dealing with trauma. Let's really release the trauma by traumatizing you. In Scientology, that's called a contrary fact. When you're investigating corruption, you're supposed to look for outpoints. So in what world is locking up children, Brian Moxon, releasing trauma? Because that would be very good for you to start clarifying that on the record next time you face a judge. Really start explaining what you are doing. Good morning, guys. Thank you for coming in. We're going to take a look at the ruling coming down on Scientology attorney Brian Moxon, who went against DOA, and this time DOA defended himself. Imagine that he didn't even go to law school and he's there defending himself. So let's take a look at what actually is gonna be that outcome. Good morning, Miriam.
Is it a good evening, Mary? Or good afternoon?
Yeah, so 4 consecutive wins so far for us, and 4 consecutive losses and failures where the court are finally waking up when the facts are actually being inspected on their face and ruling is actually coming down on what evidence is being presented today in the year 2024, not with all of these other corrupt judges that got told everything they do is very religious, and that's all it's taken for them to get away with the corruption. You guys, all they have to do is say, oh, it's very religious, this is very religious, the law doesn't apply to us because we're very religious. Imagine being that stupid and having built an entire empire on that fake pitch. Oh, this convicted felon said it was a religion, so let's just do it. Shall we? Let's just do it. Yeah, the courts are going to be so stupid and not going to be able to see anything because the minute we say religion, they're going to have short circuits inside their head, and all of a sudden they're going to have 0 critical thinking skills, 0 abilities to analyze the facts on their face. Not what they're being told, Not what, oh yeah, but Scientology did tell us that it was going to be very great and wonderful, and whatever the convicted felon pitched on a piece of paper is really, really protected by the First Amendment. Imagine that. Imagine that. Any felon on a jail cell can write a book, pitch a bunch of illegal things to do, and then he just labels their book religion, and then all of a sudden, no one can smell the rat. Everyone's like, oh, you said it's religion? Oh, okay, well then, you know what? Believe whatever, do whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what these courts of the United States have done. Allowed a convicted felon to write things down for himself on a piece of paper, purport that he wants to save a world, erode all boundaries between adults and children, something that attorney Brian Moxon is highly aware of firsthand. Scientology attorney Brian Moxon goes to these hotels to get serviced, including but not limited to by children. So he considers this very normal. He considers this his religious right, he says. Oh yeah, I'm getting religiously serviced by a child because they're an adult in a small body. You're very excited for today. I mean, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go, you guys. So hopefully justice prevails again. Hello, Nico. Hello, Nora. Hello, Kelly, YouTube fan. LA Superior Court, where all of these proceedings of lawfare that Scientology has been engaging in. It's called lawfare when you're utilizing the law to weaponize that against others. When you know, full knowing that you have no case, that you have no ability to make any claims, but you know, Brian Moxon, attorney that he is, Scientology attorney that he is, has been very used to weaponizing the law against others. That's his specialty. That's his literal specialty. How do I weaponize? How do I literally lie my ass off and pretend to be an injured party when he's the one doing the injuring? When he's the one weaponizing his law license against others? Because that would be a very good question to start asking the State Bar Association. Why in the hell do you have an attorney that we, the children that were literally recruited from other countries with our passports locked up to come role play as slaves for full-grown adults that pay to have access to this level of disgusting, indefensible shit? It's all about. And with a full-blown straight face, he's like, yeah, but this is my religion experience. I can do it. I can do whatever I want because my Grandmaster Daddy, L. Ron Hubbard, convicted felon that he was and is, said that he wrote these disgusting sessions for religious purposes. Oh yeah, very religious, Brian Moxon. Do you have any tight clothes or shoes on? That's what a child is expected to ask every time they get inside a hotel room with one of these grown-ass adult and men and women. Don't forget, the women were undoing their bra in front of the minors. The men were undoing their pants in front of the minors. Or we're having the minors undo their bras and their pants. Oh, you know, to have a religious experience with me, you really need to loosen up your pants and your bra. That's what's being denounced. That's what we're asking. What in the literal living hell? just so that anybody stops getting confused about what the problem is and why we keep saying no more kids in Scientology, kids cannot consent. They are the ones that did not have the ability, the capacity to what? Consent to this. If a grown adult wants to go and undo their pants in a hotel with another grown adult, guess who doesn't give an F about that? Adults. If they're getting off on that, then who the hell are you guys to be like, oh yeah, they really shouldn't be doing that? Let them. That's what they want to do. The problem is that they bring their kids to these hotels where all Scientology parents know what is going to take place. So for any of them that go, oh, but I didn't know, bullshit. You read L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard said it. Oh, but I thought it was a religious experience. Well, double check with a criminal attorney if undoing your pants in a hotel room with a child, with a minor, is a religious experience. All Scientology parents are encouraged to really start calling criminal attorneys to double check if the convicted felon, L. Ron Hubbard, is really an American-bred God, and that whatever he wrote can just be interpreted as like, oh, look, my religious right that overrides the law of these United States. It really has that simple. It really has become that simple. He's coming out. This guy is coming out. Right there.
No, you're pulling in. The truck? Oh, he's pulling in.
There.
Where's your car?
Or even right behind him.
Yep.
So you don't have to.
Am I in this spot?
It says so right there. 7 to 9. No parking, 7 to 9. No, then you're not good. 7 to 9, no parking. Except Saturdays and Sundays, so. Nope. Go to the park. We just pay for parking in front. It's right. Good morning, Kiara. Thank you. We're hoping for the best as well, you guys. Art downtown. People that don't know how to drive in Los Angeles, Exhibit A. Oh, look, we found a parking lot. Praying for justice and a righteous outcome. Thank you. We are praying for justice too. Please, God, show us justice. Show us that truth will prevail instead of bogus BS accusations of the law being weaponized. We've seen exhibits of the law being weaponized our entire life, you guys. That's why this is actually giving us a different actual outcome where the law is prevailing in all these instances of lawfare being used by Scientology. Because let's not forget how many times we've seen actual examples of the law be actually losing, like how many people have gone against Scientology and lost in the court. But they're on a very, very losing streak right now. And it is thanks to y'all. I do believe it.
Hi guys. Here we go. I'm so excited.
I don't think Dorothy is going to be here because Dorothy didn't represent DOA on this case. I think she represented him on the ROA case, but not on this one.
There's a possibility he's getting the same judge Jenny.
Well, I don't think it's a potential. Like, whoever the judge was, it was that. So if that's been his judge, then that's who it is. But thank you guys. Thank you. All right, well, shutting down the live. See y'all on the flip side of justice or injustice. We'll see. Thank you guys. Ciao, ciao.